Welcome back. My name is Maiyo Febi. Previously, I spoke about dissatisfaction and how when you have a nice, high, healthy level of dissatisfaction, it brings about this wonderful thing called goals. So in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about goals. What exactly is a goal anyway? A simple definition is a goal is commitment to bring about a specific outcome. Now, the key word there is commitment. In order for a goal to be powerful and irresistible in your life, there's two qualifying criteria. The first one, you have to believe that the goal can happen to you. Now, believe it or not, many of us think that there's a group of select people in society that can do whatever they want to live the type of life that they want to live. And the rest of us are chained to the mundaneness of life and whatever will be type of scenario. So it's important that you believe that whatever it is that you've set for yourself, it can happen to you. Secondly, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. Now, many of us fall off the bandwagon here because we're only willing to do what's easy. We're willing to do what's comfortable. The moment it gets a bit uncomfortable and we're stretching ourselves and we're out of our comfort zone, we back up, we get scared. So remember, you have to believe it can happen to you. And secondly, you must be willing to do whatever it takes. So what types of goals are there? Well, there's lots that you can set for yourself. There's spiritual goals, there's financial goals, there's health goals, and so professional goals. In context of today, though, I'm going to be talking about three types of goals, which I call your A type, your B type, and your C type of goals. Your A type of goals are something that you've done before and you know exactly how to do it. Let's use the example of a marketing director, for instance. Let's say last year you set yourself a goal of increasing sales by 10%. Now you know exactly what you need to do to get that 10% because you've done it before. So when you set yourself that goal for this year, it's something that you can do, right? You know exactly what you need to go through. That's your A type of goal. The second type of goals are your B type of goals. Now with a B type of goal, it's something that you haven't done before, but you know that if you follow a specific process, you can achieve it. Now for a B type of goals, I'll use the example of Kigali, Rwanda. They've set themselves the goal to build Africa's first green city, and it's going to cost them in the region of 50 billion US dollars. Now this goal sounds larger than life, like, oh my gosh. But it's actually not the highest type of goal. Why? Because they know exactly what they need to do. They need to get $50 billion. And on top of that, they've already secured that money through some funding, and the government is also going to contribute something. Now, the exciting goals, the juicy goals, the goals that make you wake up early, hit it all day, and sleep late, these are the C type of goals. Why? Because with C type of goals, you know what the end result, what the outcome you've committed to is, but you have no idea how you're going to get there. You have zero experience about how this goal is going to come true. Now, these are exciting because they're usually linked to purpose, to destiny, to fulfillment, the C type of goals. A great example to use is domestic workers. Most of them earn in the region of, let's say, 1,000 to 3,000 rands. And they set audacious goals for themselves to say, with this salary, I don't know how I'm going to get my children through university, but somehow I will. And often once these women have seen their children through university and they get interviewed, how did you do it? How did it come true? How could you see 3 children through university? And they'll say things like, I don't know how I did it. I didn't have a plan. All I knew was that I had to see my children through university, and the right people came into my life. Money just came out of nowhere to make sure that I see my kids through university. Now, the question I want to ask you is, what kinds of goals have you set for your life? What are you working towards? What are you moving towards? Because if you're not actively working towards something, by universal law, you're shrinking, you're pulling back. There's no such thing as standing still. Let's say, for instance, I say right now, I'm standing still, I'm doing nothing. I've aged a few seconds, right? Time has continued. And I do it again. Okay, I'm doing nothing. The sun has moved a second closer to bringing about a sunset. You get my point, right? There's no such thing as I'm doing nothing, I'm standing still. So it's either you're actively moving towards something. If you don't choose to, you're disintegrating. So set yourself some goals that get you excited. What's the first step in terms of setting a goal for yourself? The first thing to do is to be specific. What is it that you want? Many of us say things like, I want more money. Okay, that's a goal. And I'm using money because it's easy to measure, right? So if you say you want money, my next question then is, how much do you want? And what do you want the money for? Because money in itself is an enabler, right? If I gave you 100 million and I said, here's 100 million for you to own, to do nothing with, it's useless to you, right? So our goals are usually linked to what we believe the 100 million rands can bring about for us. So get into those goals. Is it security that you're looking for? What does security look like to you? What does it mean to you? And if you're setting yourself health goals, I want to lose weight. How many kgs do you want to weigh? Don't just say, I want to lose weight. Do you want to weigh 80 kgs? Do you want to weigh 50 kgs? Because when you define it and it's clear, everything within you will move and work towards that specific outcome. Because you cannot say where you want to be if you're not clear about exactly where it is you want to be. You can't go to Johannesburg International Airport and say, I want to travel the world. The first thing that the travel agent will ask you is, where do you want to go? I want to go to Europe. Again, where in Europe do you want to go? I want to go to Spain. Where in Spain do you want to go? Do you get what I mean? So you have to be specific about what it is that you want. And then secondly, write it down. I cannot overemphasize the importance of writing it down. We all have fantasies. We all have daydreams. Now, to extract your goal from your fantasies and your daydreams, write it down, because immediately you're isolating it. You're telling everything within you that this is what we're working towards. Until next time, it's goodbye.